How to overcome the fear of new experiences just by learning to listen.
Naturally, if you are currently experiencing a state, a feeling, an understanding that is new to you, and you're asking a question from this unknown position, then the answer you'll hear will also be new to you. And you shouldn't be afraid of hearing something new. Hearing something new doesn't mean that you need to understand it right away. First, focus on learning to simply listen to the new. Listen to what is being said to you. If I tell you something and you focus on trying to understand my answer, you'll always lose. You will always fail to understand. If you focus just on listening to my answer, then you have a much better chance of grasping the meaning I'm trying to unveil. Because that tension of trying to understand will disappear, and you'll be close to the meaning I convey through my words, closer to it. Therefore, if there truly is a question that exists within you, there's essentially no need to hide it. And it doesn't matter if you understand the answer or not. The important thing is that you ask the question, and you'll have the opportunity to practice listening, just like with birds. Birds make sounds, and I don't try to understand what they're singing. The first thing I do is train myself to hear the sound of a bird. The sound of a bike that has just arrived. Right now, just focus first on what you can hear. There's no need to understand anything, to uncover any truths or anything else. Simply focus on what you can hear at this moment. All your attention should be on this ability, the ability to hear. You're hearing your own sounds. You're hearing the sounds around me. Birds, roosters, the rustling of leaves. Just listen. And so, all these occurring noises create sound. Sound. But the ability to hear is silence. The ability to hear is not the sound that is being made. We can hear the rustling of leaves now because that sound is being made. We can hear the roosters, the birds. These sounds come and go. But the ability to hear isn't a sound itself. The ability to hear is just silence. And this silence, as the ability to hear, exists simultaneously with all other sounds. Just focus on what you can hear. The ability to hear is always the same. It doesn't change at all. The ability to hear doesn't increase or decrease. It simply is. It's activated. All sounds carry with them certain phenomena that come and go. But the ability to hear is always there, in the same place. The ability to hear is like silence. The silence can also be heard. But the ability to hear is more like silence, because the ability to hear in itself is not a sound. It's something that hears within the sound and, in its unchanging nature, resembles silence, resembling soundlessness. The ability to hear is like the sound of one hand clapping, a soundless sound. All sounds are just sounds, but the ability to hear is this soundless sound, silence. And we don't need to rid ourselves of anything. We don't need to fear that someone will somehow disappear or anything like that. It's all sort of a play of thoughts. We just need to be in reality. And if you are able to hear, for example, start by focusing on that. Just pay attention to the ability to hear. And inside you, everything will immediately calm down. All the rush of where you need to go, the idea that you should be somewhere else now, or the regret that you're here, all of that dissolves, and what remains is just the ability to hear, and everything that you're hearing now, just silence. Remember, like at the meeting, when we sat, and you were present with me. Even the sound of a passing car seemed so beautiful. The ongoing construction outside the window was beautiful too. We had one window open on the left side and another open on the right side. On the right side, birds were singing while a house was being built on the left. And they sounded simultaneously in this silence, because for the ability to hear, it doesn't matter whether there are birds or construction. Both exist at the same time. Then, the ability to hear becomes a common denominator connecting both the construction and the birds. It's such a state of tranquility. Just return to this more often, to what you already have, that's all. Don't just aspire to what you don't have. Pay enough attention to what you already possess, because it opens up a happy life. The more attention you give to what you already have, the more you appreciate it, and the more you start to see, hear, and feel it. And through this, things you didn't have before start to appear in your life. But when we try to acquire something we don't have, we still end up at some point not valuing it and not understanding why we need it, because we don't know what to do with it when we get it. We've never stayed with what we already have with all our attention. We've always just rushed to get what we don't have. And therefore, we are completely unfamiliar with the feeling of what to do when something enters our lives. At that moment, we immediately want to run from it to get something else that we don't yet have. But then, why acquire something you didn't have if you won't stay with it and don't know what to do with it? That's the essence. Life is like a huge toy store, offering toys for you to stay with, to examine, to feel how soft they are, to press a button and hear them say something. Then they go silent. When you have played enough with the toy, it then leaves. When the next toy comes, you're given one, but you're unsure what to do with it. You think, I really want that one, which I don't have yet. So they give you that toy, but then you say, no, I need a different one. I don't have this other thing. They ask you, why do you always run from what you're given? You wanted this toy so much, and you respond, I don't know what to do with it. I don't want to explore it. I just want another one right away. However, the true beauty emerges when something arrives. You stay with it, and it naturally reveals its depth. Take perfume as an example. It's created and then sealed, right? With a cap. If I say, for example, I want Dior perfume, and they hand me a bottle of Dior, just the bottle. I take the bottle in my hands, but I'm used to not knowing what to do next when I get something. I immediately want something else that I don't have. And so they give me this bottle of Dior, and I don't even open it. I don't know its scent. I just immediately say, now I want Dolce & Gabbana. But I never get around to actually opening the bottle to experience its fragrance. When I received the Dior, when it arrived, I should have really opened the cap, smelled the aroma, sprayed a little, rubbed it in, taken in how pleasant it was, how it smelled, how delightful it was. You see, I should have spent time with it, been present with it, let it fill my presence, so I could truly understand it. Then, after recognizing and appreciating its value, I could say, wow, this is a great perfume, but still remain open to trying others that come along. However, it often seems like we're turning our lives into a series of unopened perfume bottles, never actually opening them to smell. And these perfume bottles represent what you currently have in life, the opportunity to be, to hear, to see, to feel, to experience the states that are available to you now.